Penn State 41, Northwestern 13. That's Nate Bauer, Sean Fitz. I'm Greg Pickle from Blue White Illustrated. Sean, Penn State, obviously another slow start on the road, but another strong finish. Fans of the point spread enjoyed Bo Prabula's touchdown toss, and Penn State gets out of here 5-0.
Penn State 5-0 against the spread also.
Yes.
Yeah, it was not the most impressive game they've played by far.
And the over. We forgot about that, the over, too.
We often forget about the over.
Yes.
But no, Penn State kind of sleptwalked through the first half. They came back 17 points in the third quarter. So there's going to be positives there. But you look back, and, it seems to be a theme. Like, you get this slow start. They started slow against Iowa last weekend. They've done it a couple times this year now. So you'd like to shake that off during this bye week. I don't want to call it an off week. James Franklin made it clear. It is not an off week. It is a bye week. But Penn State was able to bounce back, get the points they needed in the second half, look a little bit more fluent on offense, but the defense is the story to me. Like, the defense just did what they wanted to do. They were put behind the 8-ball right away. Nick Singleton fumbles the opening kickoff. All of a sudden, your backs are against the wall in the red zone. To only give up 3 points and then to sort of take charge from it, Penn State's defensive ends were once again phenomenal today. So the story was once again the defense, which lends to the conversation of when's this offense going to kick into gear.
Right. And I think that's what a lot of fans are asking Nate. Two guys on offense, J.B. Nelson, Katron Allen, leave this game with what we assume are injuries. James Franklin has no updates on either. But to your point, where are you at on the offense to Sean's point, rather, where are you on this offense after 5 weeks?
Yeah, I thought that they found themselves in long down and distance situations pretty repeatedly in the first half. And so when you're in second and 7+, third and 7+, consistently, it's going to make things tough for you. And so I thought it was a combination of the running backs, both Singleton and Katron in the first half, not really getting going on those first down plays, right? When Penn State had the ball, they were typically starting on first down with a run to open drives, and it consistently put them behind the 8-ball. So that left Drew Allar, who, didn't have a great day. Let's be honest. Let's be honest about this. He did not have a particularly accurate day. He throws a hot, fast ball anyway, and it looked like his receivers were having trouble kind of catching up to it. So it was just comprehensive, right? And I think the thing that's becoming clear and that we have to now start talking about is, all right, here's what we thought Penn State would be. And we still think Penn State can be that offensively, but here's what they are, right? Here's what they are, and this is what they have been really through 5 weeks of the season. I mean, they just the first half, they have not been a first-half team throughout the season, absent Delaware. And really...
Which doesn't count anyway.
Which does not count anyway. And the running game has not been, as efficient as it needs to be. In the passing game, even when Drew Allar has completed for high percentages, which is fine, there have been problems with drops and the receivers for sure. And also, you're just not throwing for yardage most of the time. You're not getting those chunk plays. So I do think there is something there to talk about in terms of the deficiencies of this offense so far this season.
Sean, speaking of the run game, and I'll just lump this together, too. I want to get your thoughts on two guys who really flashed today. Zane Durant on defense, 3 tackles for loss and a sack, and then Trey Potts comes in with Katron Allen out. He said that one of the strengths coaches have called him the Swiss Army knife. He plays special teams. He obviously was out for a kickoff return, and he scored a touchdown and got more carries today. Yeah,
looking like a gem in the transfer portal right now, just because you expected him to come in and be well behind those other two backs, and when he's gotten his chance, he's made the most of it. And you really can't say that about those other two guys to start the season. You've seen great things from them in the past, but it really hasn't shown up all that much. He's finding seams. He's running hard. He had the touchdown run in the first half, and then, of course, wide open down the seam in the second half. So Trey Potts, a great story in perseverance and making the most of your opportunity. He really did a great job today. And it really has all season. I mean, you really didn't know what to expect from him. He really has done a nice job. Zane Durant, just that entire defensive line, they were overwhelming. Those defensive ends were putting offensive tackles on their butts, straight bull rushing. There was really nothing scientific about what those defensive linemen were doing. They were getting there. And then Northwestern at this end zone right behind us, trying to run a goal line play, not blocking Zane Durant. I don't recommend it. I'm not a coach, but I don't recommend it. Zane Durant comes in, injures the quarterback, unfortunately. That was part of the splash plays that we saw from the defensive linemen. And the thing about this defense is the expectations are sky high, so high. So you say 13 points, and it's one of Penn State's, poorer defensive performances of the year. But they still, they crushed it, absolutely crushed it. Again, backs against the wall to start the game, turned it around to 3 points. And then from then on, that was pretty much it. There were a couple plays that you can nitpick on open field tackling, long pickups on 3rd and 15, on 3rd and 17. There were some things that you would like to get buttoned up. But in the grand scheme of things, there's a lot more to fix on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Nate, final thoughts as we head into the off week, bye week.
Yeah, certainly the health, I think, of the team is probably paramount right now, depending on JB and obviously Katron. I mean, this is such a huge piece of what they are offensively.
Franklin did say that Nelson was with the team after the game, so I think that's a good sign.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I don't either. I was trying to figure out what. Yeah, I was trying to figure that out too. Yeah.
He's just look. Franklin is so vague about injuries and discussing them that it just doesn't leave you. I will not put any credence into that. Your optimism is noted, Fitz. That's fine. But no, I mean certainly those are two guys that you want to have out there. Trey Wallace not a factor today again. Right? What does that mean for him? What does that mean for the receivers? When we talk about the receivers in the passing game and Drew Allar in the running game, like all of those things go together, right? Offensively, I mean, you know this. I'm talking about 1 + 1 = 2 here with football, but you need an offensive line that can protect the quarterback to get the ball to the best receivers that you have. If the best receivers that you have aren't available, that puts strain on a running game that's already being game planned against. So I just think that all of those things intertwine a little bit, and the health of their best players is very important to being able to keep that going.
Sean, final thoughts.
I thought Keandre Lambert Smith played a really good game today, and it was kind of a quiet 82-yard performance, something like that, but he made some nice chunks. I think he had a 35-yarder and a 25-yarder. I thought he did well. Penn State still sorely misses Trey Wallace, and I think they've been trying to find a guy to step up. They gave Malik McClain an opportunity a couple weeks ago. He had a couple drops. They gave Dante Cephas an opportunity. A couple of bad routes, and just he wasn't even in on the play a couple times when the ball came his way, which was tough. Liam Clifford did what Liam Clifford does, but they're still struggling to find that guy in the passing game. They took a shot down the field today to Cephas. I think the ball was delivered a little bit late. Unfortunately, Joe Hermit caught the brunt of that one. Yes. You just need something to step up in the passing game on the perimeter, and those guys so far have not shown that they're ready to take that baton and go.
Yeah, struggles on offense and defensive strength, I think, is probably the best way to sum this up. All right, well, there's no off week for us either. BlueWhiteIllustrated.com. We will have plenty of bye week content. We will see you there. And remember, like T. Frank always says, guys, hit that subscribe button. We'll see you next time.